So hey guys, things have been pretty busy around here. We're getting a lot of rain, so it's been very hard to film. And we've had a lot of just weird miscellaneous projects going on, so I thought I would take you along today, just give you a little update on some of the things that we've been working on. So this is our Dill's Atlantic giant pumpkin thing. So you guys that are in on the pumpkin challenge, ours really hasn't changed a whole lot since we put it in the ground. You can see the leaves are looking really nice and green right now. We got flowers popping on it again. We've been picking those off, so it puts some of the energy back into the growth here, but it just really hasn't seemed to make much of a difference. So I think it was last night or 2 nights ago, I put a bunch of compost around it, and it seems like it's really greened things up. So the sad part is these are our jack-o'-lantern pumpkins that were planted quite a bit after, directly into the ground, and these have taken off way better. They're just quite a bit larger, and they seem to be doing really well. You can see obviously all the sunflowers sitting out there, they're doing really well. Our corn's doing pretty decent. We had a couple different bare spots that I'm gonna have to finish up weeding today and then get stuff planted in because we do have some more rain coming. This little tiny row right down here are mini jack-o'-lanterns. Obviously you note there's a lot of weeds around that. The big part of the reason we space a lot of our rows at least a minimum of 4 feet apart is we can run a tiller up and down. The very first year we didn't do that. Our garden got taken over. Obviously you can get a lot more food in your garden, but you really have to stay on top of the weeding, and there's no rescuing it a lot of times besides putting in the hard physical work to get things back in order. So weeds are definitely something we struggle with. Everyone's going to struggle with them. The thing that is showing the most promise is actually our Back to Eden method so far. That's a big part of the reason we're pushing forward with this. There are some weeds that are in there, but it's nothing compared to some of the other areas that we've had to have our hands in quite a bit to try to maintain. So I think we're going to continue to push forward on that. We've been very happy with that. It's kind of funny if you think about it actually. GMO crops or Roundup Ready crops were created so they could go out and blast those fields with Roundup, kill everything but that single crop. But then there would be like a weed that would survive, then reproduce, and next thing you know, you have somewhat of a Roundup resistant weed that now, you know, we have to try to figure out another solution to deal with, so they're having to adjust some of those things. It's funny how Mother Nature takes over. So instead of trying to fight it, we just embrace it. A lot of that stuff, you know, we're pulling dandelions, which are, you know, things that we could throw in salad mixes. A lot of the other weeds that just end up going in the chicken pen or the pig pen and just create food that will eventually be food for us. So this here's our dill. We struggled quite a bit last year with dill. We planted quite a bit of dill, very similar to this. You can see there's a row that goes all the way back and across here. We're trying something a little different this year. Instead of doing rows, we're going to do one big bulk row. So you can see there's weeds on the outside that I'm going to have to come back in through and clean up. But so far that's doing pretty well. I got sugar snap peas sitting back out along this little fence here. So here you can see, if you look down this first row, you can see a little bit of weed action happening here. But like I said, we haven't done any weeding, and that's pretty much the extent that we have. Obviously you can see all the potatoes are doing really well here. Onions, those are a slow moving thing, but those are cruising right along. Our tomatoes, we got several rolls of tomatoes out here, and they've just been moving really slow. So the one that hasn't, of course, is the cherry tomatoes, but those usually are producing quite a long time and pretty early on. So a lot of the other varieties we got in here, we got some heirlooms, some what are they, red bell or red stars, and we got another one that we're trying this year that our neighbors rant and rave about. These ones called Mountain Fresh. Beans are doing pretty well here. We got cabbage, and there's some broccoli down on that end that's doing really well. This little spot here is our lettuce. We went back and reseeded some of this. We did get some back in there, but we're doing the very same thing with like the dill. We're just doing sort of a wide row. So in this mess right here that I have to get cleaned up is carrots. And then this following row here, these are cucumbers. Our germination rate wasn't very good in this, so I'm going to have to go back and reseed some of this stuff. But, you know, there's something happening in there. These two rows right here are peppers. We have a couple varieties of them. I think this one's like a salsa pepper. There's some jalapenos. But we always seem to struggle with our peppers, and I'm not quite sure why. So, I mean, they're kind of hanging in there, but they're definitely not killing it. And then I've been spending a little bit of time going through and weeding some of this corn here. The first row was done a little while ago, so that one's looking really nice, but I have to go back through with the hoe on these two rows, and I still have to do the big bulk of it on that back row. So you can see here's some of our meat birds. Most of them are behind me or running around the yard. These are sort of the more lazy ones. The ones that will probably end up on the butchering block first. I mean, these ones will obviously fatten up a lot quicker because they're not as active here. And this is all something that we don't want to breed. Our plan is obviously to keep some of these around where we could potentially breed these. And it's just not a trait that we were hoping to, I guess, carry on. We had them originally in the house and moved them out into our insulated garage. Part of the reason for that is it was a little easier to control temperatures. The temps were still getting pretty low at night. And then we moved them out here. And then when we did move them out here, we set up a radio. Last year when we had the pigs down at the neighbors had an outbuilding, we kept a lot of the feed in. And we struggled with black bear out here. And black bear came in and ripped a bunch of the siding off and everything. And running the radio seems to be a little bit of a deterrent. So we find the one and only AM station that the Dora boombox can pick up. So I have a handful of other projects I was going to share with you guys, but I'm guessing this video is getting a little long. But I did want to talk on one last little point here. You know, some of these projects I was talking about, some of them are homestead related, some of them not so much. I struggle on what to share with you guys. One, you know, I value your time. I really enjoy it when you guys watch the video all the way through. And I like to try to create content that helps you guys out. There's also a lot of other YouTube channels on very similar genres. We do stuff very similar to a lot of them in certain things. You know, there's a lot of similar topics going on. Gardens getting in place, chickens, you know. We might do things minor different, but that's part of the reason I haven't shared a lot of that chicken stuff with you guys. But there's obviously a lot of stuff that has happened in that area. You know, from them starting off in our basement to the free ranging and helping figure out their home and changing out feeders and some different decisions in those areas. And I just haven't shared them because I felt like, you know, there's a lot of other channels that have talked on that and I wasn't sure if it was really worth your time. There's also been a handful of times here, like last Wednesday I ended up creating a video and I hit the upload button, was getting ready to publish it, and someone released something on the exact same topic, you know. So I want to make your guys' time worth it, I guess, watching some of this stuff. So what I'm asking is, in the description below, every video I put this provide feedback here link and it brings you over to a Google form. You remain anonymous. It gives you an opportunity to provide feedback from the channel, things you'd like to see change, things that you like about the channel, suggest topics. There's just a lot of opportunities for you to help sculpt the channel. Obviously we're not going to go out of our way and do things that don't make sense for us. I know a lot of people have suggested goat related topics. Goats are something we don't have much interest in. We have a neighbor that raises a ton of goats. We've gotten a lot of goat milk, cheese, meat. It's not for us. We feel like our money is better spent somewhere else. One note, all you guys that have already completed this survey, I can't thank you enough. But I don't think you can complete it again. I think when I set it up where you could only do it one time just to prevent someone from spamming that thing over and over. And of course, you know, another great place too is leaving something in the comments below, leaving, you know, whatever your question is or any of that type of subject. I do have to apologize. I read all the comments. I've been pretty bad here lately. Just I'll be out working, doing something, my phone will ding. I'll grab my phone, I'll read the comment, I'm like, all right, I'll give them a decent answer when I get back inside, when I can actually sit down at the computer, and then I get in, ADD takes over, and then I totally blow it, and then about 2 or 3 weeks later, I'm like, oh, I forgot to answer this, and I try to go back and answer some of those questions. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't completed that survey, I really suggest you do. It helps you have a voice in the channel and some of that fun stuff. So I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you on the next one.